how to write killer copy that sells. We've already talked about where to look for angles and hooks that get your readers engaged from the moment they land on your page. And we've also talked about how to write headlines that scream "read me." Now we're going to talk about how to keep their eyes reading and flowing down the page. This lesson applies to video sales letters, phone scripts, blog posts, and emails, just as it does landing pages, and it will provide a brief overview of what you'll need to do to write a killer landing page, including the process that we use to write copy. This is designed to give you the basics of what you'll need to write an advertorial or a landing page sales copy today. If you want even more, everything you will learn here will be expanded on in later modules. Remember, your landing page determines your success and how much money you make. Without a good landing page, your customers won't click to the offer page. If they don't click to the offer page, they'll never buy your products or service. And it's all about psychology. Even if your landing page is an email or blog post, the psychology is the same. Keep in mind, you don't need to convince them to buy the product. The offer page will do that. Your job is to prime the reader to be in a buying state by removing any perceived psychological barriers in their minds and giving them clear direction on what action to take and getting them to click through. You do that with your story. Remember, facts tell and stories sell. So your job is simple. Find or create an intriguing angle and then write a compelling story to sell products. Why do stories work so well? It's because our brains are naturally more engaged when listening to a story than when listening to facts. So you use facts and data strategically to support your story. Your story should start with one pain point that not only relates to your product, but one that also relates to your reader. You want your customer to see themselves in the story and using the product you're promoting. Do that and you'll make a lot of money. As marketers, we will always find inspiration in other people's work, but many go the lazy route of simply copy and pasting content from advertisers they find using ad scrapers and ads they find on other websites. But the marketers that make the big money are those that can write and develop their own landing pages. It sounds cliche, but if writing a landing page that sells products was easy to do, everyone would do it. But here's another little secret. It's actually not that difficult. It just takes a little time, focus, and effort. And that's what you're learning in this course. So let's start with learning about the critical elements of a landing page. And I'll share a simple 4-step process I use to write landing pages. 7 important elements to writing persuasive copy and an effective advertorial. As I mentioned in a previous module, most people live boring lives. They're bombarded every day with ads and social media feeds and see the same thing over and over every single day. They're bored out of their minds scrolling their phones for entertainment. But here's the thing. They want to be shaken out of this haze of boredom, and it's your job as a copywriter to do it. No matter where you advertise, this is the goal of the ad that gets them to your landing page, to stop them in their tracks and make them want to click to learn more or make a purchase. But what happens once they land on your page? Because you can write a real clicky ad angle, but if you don't have a powerful reason for them to continue reading from the moment they land on your page, you won't generate sales. So how do you do it? First and foremost, as we've already discussed, you're going to need a good hook, an intriguing angle, and a compelling story. We'll break each of these elements down later, but for right now, this is going to give you a fundamental understanding of the structure of a landing page, which leads us to the most important part of your landing page, your headline and header image. Your headline and main header image are critical. This point cannot be stressed enough. You only have a few seconds after they click on your ad and land on your page to grab their attention. Your headline and header image have the biggest impact on your landing page CTR. You'll need an arsenal of headlines to test, and the more you write, the better your headlines will get. It's a skill that develops over time, but it takes practice, effort, and focus. Your first headline is rarely your best, so don't get caught up on it. It's good to practice writing new headlines and test on a daily basis. Keep the 80-20 rule in mind. 80% of the headlines you write probably won't be good. That's okay. Forget about those and focus on the 20 that are, because they can make you a fortune. Remember, the quicker you can get relevant data such as landing page CTR, conversion rates, the quicker you'll know the message is working and the quicker you can test to scale and profitability. To do that, you need to write quickly and get traffic to the page. Once you start writing, the words will flow. Here's a pro tip. Take 30 minutes each morning to write headlines. This is more for volume rather than quality. If you write headlines for 30 minutes per day, you will naturally get better quickly. All right. Number 2, keep your page between 400 and 2,000 words. Contrary to popular belief, and despite people's short attention spans, your customers will read long-form copy and it will outsell short copy every time. But why? because your customers want and deserve to know all about your product to make an informed decision on whether it's right for them. Sure, there are people who will make an impulse buy, but more often than not, you will have to overcome subconscious objections and psychological barriers for them to buy your product. And this is a good thing, because the people who want to know all about your product and make the first purchase are more likely to buy from you over and over again with less hesitation each time after. So how do you do it? Well, you need to tell a great story that paints a vivid picture in the reader's head of what their life would be like using your product. You don't have to spell out every detail of the story. I used to do that and the copy would be so long that even I wouldn't want to read. You let the reader fill in the blanks for themselves based upon their life's experience. For example, here's a sentence I used to begin a story that ended up selling millions of dollars worth of products in just a few months. Have you ever gone shopping only to come back and forget where you parked your car? You see, almost everybody can relate to this situation and picture themselves walking around the parking lot looking for their car. Notice it doesn't say, have you ever gone shopping on a hot sunny day or on a cold, snowy Saturday during the holidays at the mall? That's because you want them to fill in the blanks in their head with how they would react and what they would have done in a situation they have had in their lives. They could have been at the grocery store, not at the mall. They may live in Arizona and never seen snow. Starting a story like this paints a picture in your reader's mind and creates an easy transition to your sales message without taking up a lot of space or using a lot of text. It inserts them right in the middle of the story in their own head without having to write out every little detail and taking up tons of space. You can use this extra space to explain all the incredible details about your product later in the copy. Next, you can use a transitional quote like, "It's happened to the best of us." This type of statement connects you to them and takes down their defenses a bit. Because no matter how good your memory may be, we've all forgotten where we've parked our car at least once in our lives. Those two sentences were only 24 words and set the stage for the positioning of the product. I was able to use the other 800 words of copy to explain how the product was able to eliminate the problem and use images and videos to show how it worked and reinforce the message of the copy. Remember, your readers live different lives than you. If you try to fill in too many details for them based on your life's experience, you could lose them. Let them fill in the details in their head and use the space you save to talk about your product's features, benefits, and customer results throughout the rest of your copy. Here's another pro tip. If you're unsure of how long your copy should be or the way it should be formatted, refer to your research on your competitors' pages. Analyze and study their pages and make yours similar in structure. Way too many words? Edit down the fluff. Not enough words? Add more detail if necessary. Number 3 is subheadlines. Subheadlines are a great way to break up your content and begin new talking points that you called out in your ad or headline. Think of them as secondary headlines that you can use to grab the reader's attention as they scroll. Subheadlines give the impatient readers who scroll and skim the relevant information they need to either slow down and read your entire sales page or move on with their day. Secondary pain points or features and benefits of your product are a good use of subheadlines. Make sure they are formatted bold and jump off the page, and make the subheadline text a little larger than the main text so they stand out even further. Number 4, use images and videos to reinforce your messaging. It is said that 93% of all human communication is visual, and our brains process images 60,000 times faster than words. Images and videos are powerful. They speak straight to the subconscious and enhance your sales message without adding any extra text to read. It's like adding thousands of extra words of sales copy in the same amount of space without actually adding words. Start with 3 to 6 images and 1 video in your content. Mix and match the visual content and see what works best for you. Remember, video reviews work great on landing pages because they are direct feedback from real users. Here's another pro tip. Test your page with images that are clickable, and test one page without clickable images where the only button at the bottom is clickable, so they have to scroll the entire page to click to the offer. Okay, number 5, use bullet points. Similar to subheadlines, bullet points are a great way to easily highlight both pain points and features and benefits of your product. You can use bullets or numbers or a mixture of both. It's up to you. Don't be shy. The more you use, the better your page will perform. Remember, bullet points jump off the page and are easy on the eyes, which makes your reader's job of gathering information about making a purchase easier. Number 6, use update boxes to highlight your awesome offer. This is a great way to take advantage of a skimmer's reluctance to read your page. If you have a great offer, like a buy one, get one free, then highlight it near your CTA. You never know, that could be enough information to get the impulse buyers to click and buy. Number 7, your call to action. The job of your landing page is to remove as many psychological barriers as possible in order to make the purchase decision easy. Think of it like going down a slide in a park. If you've ever gone down a park slide in shorts and had your skin catch the slide, you know how quickly it can stop you in your tracks. But go down that same slide, sitting on a beach towel, and all you feel is butterflies in your stomach and the wind in your face. Your landing page experience should be similar. As the reader scrolls and reads, each section of copy leads directly and logically to the next step. When they get to the CTA, it should be easy for them to know exactly what to do. Do not leave it up to the reader to make a decision or make a mistake. Your CTA should tell the reader exactly what you want them to do next. Make your CTA clear and direct. If you want them to click the red button, then say, click the red button below to learn more. Your button text should reinforce the CTA sentence above it. Here's another pro tip. Try split testing a page with 2 buttons, one in the middle of the text and one at the end, versus 1 button, only at the bottom, and see which converts better. Maybe your customer doesn't need to read all the way to the end to make a buying decision, or you may find placing a button too high in the content gets them to click through to the offer page, but it doesn't convert into sales. That could mean they need to be sold more before they're given the option to click to the sales page. The only way to know for sure is to test. Test your button text and your button colors.